Hi, you must be Bailey.
Yes, ma'am, you are Vivianna.
Yes, I'm going to be your counselor. So I see that you signed your disclosure form and that you also did your intake forms. Thank you very much. We're going to be going over these. So if you have any questions about what was asked in these or anything like that, we'll cover that as well and then continue on with our session. Does that sound good?
Yes, ma'am, that's perfectly fine with me.
Okay. So we're going to go over professional disclosure statement first. I am a graduate student working on a master's degree at Houston Christian University, and I'm getting a master's degree in professional counseling. I am currently practicing counseling skills and techniques. So therefore, we will be recording our session. It will only be seen by my classmates and instructor and will be destroyed upon the completion of the semester. So, likewise, you should know there are some limitations in my counseling. So please note that it's not possible to guarantee that we will reach those specific goals regarding your counseling goals, but that, however, we will work as a team to best accomplish those goals for the best possible results for you. Any questions about that?
No, no, ma'am. I read over this. I understand what this is going to be over and stuff like that, so I really have issues.
Okay, so we're going to continue on to your client rights. It is your right at any time to inquire about any processes or procedures that will be used during this counseling relationship or during the duration of your counseling. If you have the right to refuse or request any changes or any of my suggestions, request changes to my suggestions. If you're not satisfied with my services, you can let me know or you can contact my supervisor, Dr. Frederick. I'll be giving you her contact information at the end of the session as well.
Okay.
Moving on. So once you begin counseling with me, there is no obligation for you to continue. I just do ask that you come to a termination session, which in a termination session, it's just kind of like, for you to give me some feedback on like things that you did like, things that went well, things that you think could have been worked on or could have been done differently. Along with that, if you desire a referral to another therapist, I will provide you one. Um, my services are rendered in a professional manner that are consistent with the ethical standards of the American Counseling Association. If you have a complaint concerning malpractice or my execution of these ethical standards, this can be reported to my supervisor, Dr. Frederick.
Okay. Thank you so
Any
much.
questions about your rights?
No, I had counseling a few years ago. It's similar a little bit to this, not for a college student, but no, I understand the rights. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to move on to confidentiality. So everything we discuss in the sessions will be confidential. There are some exceptions. This would be if I determine you are an imminent danger to yourself or others, if you report child and or elder abuse or neglect, if your records are subpoenaed by a court of law, if you disclose that you've had sexual contact with a mental health professional with whom you've had a previous counseling relationship with, if information is requested by your contract provider, so this could be insurance or perhaps the person who's paying for this.
Okay.
If I am directed by you in writing to disclose information to someone of your choosing, which you don't have to do this right now. It can be done later on in the process if you feel like like you need that. And if you bring a malpractice suit against me.
Okay.
Any questions concerning your confidentiality?
No.
Okay, so once again, you are also aware this session may be recorded. This recording is the benefit for my evaluation and will only be viewed by my instructor and my classmates and will be destroyed upon the completion of this course. And you have signed this document indicating that you have read, understand, and agree to the agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to kind of go over your intake form at first. Were there any questions you had about your intake form while filling it out?
I had to redo the second part of it. I kind of got a little confused on it, and yeah, sorry to send that back. But no, not really. Most of this I can understand. Yes, ma'am. I didn't have any issues filling it out after that.
Okay, so earlier you mentioned that you've been to a counselor or to a therapist before, and you marked on here that you haven't seen another therapist in the past 24 months. So when was that?
So when I was 18, I'm 23 right now, I joined the Navy and I served for 2 years. When I got out, I was 20 and I had severe PTSD and stuff like that. So I went and saw a counselor to try to help with that. I saw her for about 6 months and it helped go through daily life. So After that, I really I just haven't felt like I needed to. But the reason why I'm trying to attend this is because I'm still having old issues that I'm just slowly recognizing now as I got older, and I just kind of want to work on them to be a little bit more. I'd probably be like more open to my feelings.
Okay. So, along with this, you put that your reasons for seeking counseling services is to improve your daily life. Do you want to tell me more about that?
My daily life really is I work a lot. I work for a company I'm a manager at, and I have severe issues trying whenever there's any issues for them breaking rules or stuff like that, we have to have a one-on-one with the person. So in those times, I have a real big issue trying to talk to that person and empathize with them at all. It's really hard because they're trying to explain to me situation, but they broke the rule. And for military, for us, we are you break the rule, it's over. You don't have that second chance really most times. So switching from a severe structure environment into this more, it's a lot more open. I would probably say a lot more. Can you can get in trouble, but you might not get fired. And for us, it's a lot different because if I got in trouble in the military, most of the time it's you're done. You're going to go to jail or something. It is a severe punishment. So I'm not very empathetic when they're trying to explain the situation to me or very open to listening to them because I'm just thinking you broke the rule. What more is there really to say? Or anything else like that. So I just kind of want to be more easier to just talk to them and let them understand I understand and see if maybe I can make a better decision going forward in my work life.
So, you mentioned a word, empathetic. Do you maybe want to show more empathy towards those below you or the ones that you work with?
Kind of, yeah. I just kind of want. It's hard for me to kind of like understand their emotions and stuff like that when we're talking. So I want to be able to just feel that a little bit more. I had when I was going to the sessions, had the traits for what's the word? Sociopath. And so it's kind of hard for me to read some of those emotions and really understand it and give them the proper probably like I just want to be able to let them understand I know how they're feeling and I don't do that right now. I'm very just you messed up, you're done. We're gonna move on.
So, another question I want to ask you is you did mention borderline, you're on the borderline of being a sociopath, is that
I
correct?
I have the traits for
You
it.
have the traits.
Just I have a few of the traits for excuse me, man. The empathy, not showing it really much whenever others are sad, and I kind of just mimic that emotion, and I just don't feel like it's genuine. I want to genuinely be able to feel that emotion. It's just kind of hard for me to, and I maybe never will be able to. Maybe it's just something I have, and I'm just not going to be able to move forward with it. But maybe this counseling sessions or further going down the line could help me open up that emotions a lot more because I really did block that off when I was younger. I had a lot of trauma in my life, and especially in the military we don't act on emotion much. It is just full. I have to make sure this is done going forward. I have to make sure that if we're going to get to this objective, there is zero emotion involved in it. There is no time for me to double think myself, no time for me to question is this right, ethical, anything like that. I need to get the mission done. So I kind of blocked it off during that time frame and I kind of want to open that back up in my life.
Okay. Um, kind of continuing. So, do you think that maybe those traits or being told that those traits lead to something such as like a sociopath, do you think that might have influenced the way you act in any sort of way now?
Yeah, it does, to be honest. Like, ever since I was I never really like to put labels on myself or anything like that, or I don't like to put labels on anything really. I usually try to find no excuses for me, and I feel like if I would just say I'm a sociopath while I'm talking to those people, that's not fair to them. They should still be able to come to me and be open up with it. So it has affected me a little bit. I try not to, but it's still in the back of my mind.
Okay, so your reason is daily life. Is there any other part of your life that maybe you want to improve on?
In my daily life, I do have a wife right now, and we have sometimes we have marital problems and stuff like that. And it's just she says I'm not hearing her enough, or that her emotions are not being read. And for me, it's not like I'm trying to actively do that. I'm not trying to just disregard her emotion, but when she's telling me it, I'm just hearing the problem and here's my solution. And she just says, "You're not listening to me most of the time." So I just kind of want to be more able to empathize with that and maybe help her in that way, use the emotion instead of logic and see if maybe that works a lot better because I'm a very logical person. I'm very forward with that.
Okay, so more empathy there.
Mhm.
Okay. So also too, I see that some things you tried so far to handle the situation are working out and reading. So do you get to indulge in those often?
To be honest, no. I was whenever I first got out. That's the reason I was really focused on that for like the first 2 years. I was really trying to do that, but just lately I've been slacking, to be honest, on it, and I'm not doing it as much. Just kind of getting a little just down in the weather, stuff like that, and it's just life. Work drains me, and then coming home, I don't get the time to enjoy this really because I have so much to focus on. So when I get home, I'm just tired, and I just usually sleep. And then that's just I want to get back into it, but it's just right now I think this might help me because I'm so emotionally taxed on myself that I don't have the opportunity to go do the things I really do like.
So emotionally taxed, do you think it's because you don't understand where others are coming from, you don't have that empathy, or is it the fact that you're trying to
I think that
empathize?
it's a little bit of both. I can't really give like either or, to be honest. It's just more of I'm there and every single day I have 10 tasks at a time because I'm a manager of 14 people a day. So I'm very if this person comes in at 6, you're going to take your lunch at 4. This person comes in at 7, you're going to take your lunch at 11, and trying to make sure all that stuff is running fully operational. And then I'm responsible for multiple areas of where I work. So making sure those are updated just brings a lot of tax and stress on me. And a lot of people that I met throughout this world have used their emotions a lot, trying to just talk or stuff like that. And for me, I just kind of walk around like a drill sergeant in the military, just going through making sure this is getting done. And I know that's not how I should probably treat people in my workplace. It should be a lot more open ended, and there still has to be that structure. But I think I should I want to loosen up a little bit more. And I'm so worried when I go to talk to somebody that I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm a sociopath. I'm not gonna be able to understand them, and it just I go through like 9 scenarios in my head trying to be like, see if this works, see if this works.
Okay. So along with that, I noticed on your intake form as well that career concerns, goals, and choices were on there. Just wanted to clarify, or maybe you might want to expand on it a little bit more. Does the empathy have to do with that as well, or is there more to it?
The empathy has it's why they're on there as high is because I feel like without having that as a very strong suit of mine, and especially the work field that I work in, it will stop me from promotions or anything like that. And I am a very hard worker. I'm trying my best on everything I have to just continue to promote and provide better for my family. And I feel like if I don't have that emotion, it might not get me there. So if I had a little bit more mix of that, it might help me promote or go further in my company and maybe even my daily life.
Okay. Along with that, just kind of taking a look here. You have anxiety and nervousness on there. Does not being able, or not having as much empathy towards others as some might have, do you think that causes you some anxiety in your life or
It
stress?
definitely causes me stress. Stress, I believe, would be the right word there. It's more, people that I see that stress out usually will miss with their fingers or something like that. I'm the type of person that it's through my head. I'm thinking so much and it's just so taxing on me that it's just, I'm worrying too much sometimes. And I'm like, if I don't handle the situation right, I could lose my job and it drains me. And it's a lot. And, I've lessened it throughout the years, but it's still a prominent factor in my work life and daily life, and I kind of want to lessen that to be just a little bit more open person.
Okay. So in here, you put that your goal or expectation for counseling was to better handle these issues. So is the empathy the only issue that we have, or is there another issue that you might need help with, handling a little better?
Not really. The others are for what I put down on there. was I had my tobacco uses, stuff like that, my nightmares, all that. I know those have lessened throughout the years, and it's slowly getting better, but there's still prominent things. There's really nothing else that like I could specifically target that would say, yes, this is going to help me more right now. I really do feel like it's that empathy and working on that because I feel like it's going to branch out a lot more into myself, into my work life, into my daily life, into if I ever have kids, stuff like that. I believe it's going to help me a lot further going down the line. That's a really one I really want to focus on right now.
Okay. Backtracking into the intake more, not really on what we've said. I noticed on here that you have some ones at different places, such as having a close relationship with your siblings, liking yourself. Do you think those have to do with the empathy, or do you think those have to do with something else?
With well, the reason for my siblings is I have my mom had four kids. I was the firstborn. I'm the only son. The other two were both adopted. My mom didn't keep them, so I never had a bond with them at all. I saw them once while I was growing up, and then my fourth sister, she's autistic, so it's very hard to communicate with her at all. So she's very hard to communicate, and my mom, oh, it's a lot. Um, it's just throughout the years she wasn't really there much. I was raised by my grandparents and my great grandmother, who I saw far more as mothers to me than my own mom was. She was constantly in and out of my life, boyfriend after boyfriend, husband after husband, and it just we never grew a relationship. And even now we try. Now that I'm older, but it's more of a friend than anything else. It's not really a mom son relationship. And for my own self being, I really just for that. I don't really like to think of myself as a high person. I rather praise more people up than my own self. So, for me, I just feel like, especially as a guy, just going through life, I need to have a strong face. I need to have resilience. I need to make sure I'm pushing through whatever I have. It doesn't matter if I have these issues, I still need to get my tasks done. There's no choice that I have to be like, I get to take a break. I get to go and just enjoy myself. I rarely do that. A lot of it's just me by myself or with my wife, but she has a job and so do I, so I need to focus on mine and make sure I'm still providing for my family no matter what. So there's no time for me to get breaks.
Okay. So I see a lot of empathy going on. That's what we need. I see that that's like a big thing that you want to work on. So would you like to consider empathy being a goal?
Definitely. No, definitely a goal. That's what I was saying is like one of the top things for myself I really want to work on is that because it's gonna branch out into the rest of my life, I feel like, and especially it would be and my personal life as well. My work life and my personal life.
Okay, so earlier we talked about your work strengths. Right now, do you mind distinguishing your personal strengths?
Really for myself, I'm just kind of hard. I'm a very logical person. I'm resilient. Um, I can understand. I can relate with people, stuff like that, and I can really. That's all I can really think of for myself. I don't really think much besides that.
So when it comes to the understanding, you said understand where people come from. Do you mean you understand like where they're coming from, as in like that emotions are playing a factor into certain things?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that I get somebody at work broke a rule because something happened in their life, but for me, I don't think I take enough emphasis on the emotion side of that, more of their action doing it, breaking the rule. They're breaking something at work that should not be broken. It is a rule. There's no reason, no matter how much emotion you have, does not mean that rule that needs to be broken. Most of them are for safety issues or stuff like that. So why are you going to break a rule like that? There's no reason for you to.
Okay. So when it comes to this, it's a goal. And if we can change it up a little bit if you need to. You understand that these reasons come from emotions. That's one of the first parts of, empathy is understanding that, emotions are going to affect people. So how about we try to get a deeper understanding and maybe we can, get the understanding a little bit deeper and get to that goal of, total empathy. How does that sound?
Yeah, no, that would definitely help me a lot more, especially going forward. Like I said, my work life and my social life are the two things that I really do care for, and my social life's not very large, and I feel like having this would open me up a lot more.
Okay. So today we kind of, discussed some things in your intake form. We discussed empathy is a big part of what you want to work on, and that we're going to use that strength of you understanding emotions, and that's where people come from, and using that understanding to deepen your empathy. So that sounds like a good place to end today. Do you have any questions or concerns about today's session?
No, not really. I understand. I hope going forward that we can work together to hopefully open this side of me up a lot more.
Okay, awesome. If you have any concerns or questions between now and next session, I'll give you my contact information, such as my email or the phone number to the counseling office, and you can just you can contact me if you have any questions. That sound good as well?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.